Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It is me, Zaza here, and I'm bringing you the third episode. I'm not going to do that every week, but this is the third episode of History, Mystery and Makeup, and today we'll be discussing the top secret Rudloe Manor, or better known as the UK's Area 51. Let's just get into it. Right, so let's get into this makeup. So today we're actually going to be talking about the UK's Area 51. For those of you who don't know about Area 51, it's in America. There's a lot of conspiracy around it being a hub for all an alien information. So any sightings. Apparently some people believe that they experiment on aliens there, and there's all different types of alien interaction at Area 51. Now, they also believe that there's actually a UK Area 51 in Wiltshire, of all places. Wiltshire in, I don't know, is it, I think it's like southwest England, I think it comes under, or West England. It's actually in a place called Corsham in Wiltshire, and it's based on an estate called Rudloe House. So the estate, Rudloe House or Rudloe Estate, was actually built in the late 17th century, so it's a very, very old estate. And you know, the history of the place is that it's had numerous wealthy owners over the centuries of its existence, and it was even at one stage early on a monastery, so it was a holy place where they all lived. But more recently, the last owner, she was actually an American widow, and she was a countess. She was a countess living in the UK, but she was American, to a German count, but obviously he had passed away. And she owned the estate in the early 1900s, which, you know, just shows her wealth. But she was obviously able to own this massive estate back then. This was in the early 1900s, you know. Especially being a widow as well, it just shows her wealth. So the countess's name was Countess Pappenheim, and once she passed away, the estate was actually passed on to her daughter, Countess Reuben. I think you say it I think it's Reuben. And Countess Reuben had it until the early 1940s, where she actually sold it to the RAF, the Royal Air Force. And she actually sold it for £14,000, which in today's money is like 788, well, it's nearly £789,000. And when I first read it, I was like, that's a lot of money. But when I saw the land and the actual estate, I was like, that's quite cheap. But then I don't know Wiltshire prices, house prices, so I don't know, maybe that is quite a lot for the area. But all I know is she got her £14,000, and the RAF took it over. So in the 17th century, Rudloe Manor was actually underneath it had many tunnels that were quarries. It used to run through old quarries is where they, I believe, mine for stone and so on. I believe that's what a quarry does. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, so it had many tunnels underneath the house. So in 1939, the number 10 group of the RAF moved into Rudloe Estate, and they had it until 1945, so they had it during the Second World War. This site was actually closed down in the year 2000. However, although it's closed down, the people that have visited there to kind of get more information about the place have actually said that there's still security cameras there, there's guard dogs, you know, there's still security at the site. So a lot of conspiracy theorists, or you know, just historians, people that are interested in it, are very confused by this, because if, you know, the place was closed down and the group disbanded, why is there still security? What people are like, what are they hiding? Why do they still have such high security there if the RAF aren't even still there? So in the 1990s, conspiracy theorists who had all these ideas about what was actually going on at Rudloe Manor and the surrounding estate flocked there, especially because the Ministry of Defence just completely was saying that, you know, they don't own it, it's nothing to do with them, you know, they've got nothing going on there. But obviously historians and conspiracy theorists, I don't really like calling them conspiracy theorists, but theorists believed otherwise. They felt like something had to be there, something had to be going on for it to be such, you know, such a heavy security, and you know, no one's saying anything. No one will say what's going on. No one's saying what is actually there, you know. And when the conspiracy theorists would go there, you know, although the Military of Defence was saying, we don't have no RAF station there, there's nothing there for us, people would see all these mounds of grass, like these massive mounds of grass, but they would have doors, they would have air shafts. So obviously people are going to be inquisitive. They're going to be like, well, if nothing ain't going on here, why you got these big mounds of grass with all this, with doors in it? That don't make no sense. Why are there air shafts coming out the ground? So obviously people was like, you lying, something's going on and you just don't want to tell us. And even to this day, there's still reports that when, you know, people go to visit the site, they are being followed by unmarked cars, people disguised as dog walkers will follow them and, you know, watch them as they are looking around. And it was quite obvious that this was, you know, personnel officers just, you know, following them around, wondering why they were there, making sure they weren't getting up to no mischief, not trying to break in and so on. So like I said, the Military of Defence were like, nothing's going on here, we ain't got nothing going on there, like chill kind of thing. But investigators into the estate and the surrounding area was like, we believe you got some ultra secret projects going on in there, you're concealing something in there. The MOD actually also admitted that they were happy to perpetuate the rumours that everyone was spreading about Rudloe and the area, because more modern secrets were actually being held in caution that people didn't know about, and it was sort of like a decoy. It was used as a decoy, which makes you think, so if it was a decoy, what were the secrets then? What were these secrets? I want to know. What's going on in Caution? Anyone that lives in Caution, what's going on? So in the 1980s, the MOD was funded to carry out works which the public believed was to Rudloe Manor. But they actually admitted later on, the MOD, that it was actually not going to be spent on Site 3. It was actually being spent on constructing a new site, a new underground facility called CCC, which stood for Command and Control Centre. So this site actually extended under Rudloe through a World War II ammunition depot, which was also underground. This new site was actually rumoured to support Trident with software maintenance. So Trident, the UK's nuclear deterrent programme. However, due to another admission, it's like they just keep admitting things well later down the line, like, these people don't know what's going on for now. We'll tell them later when we finish with it. But in a later admission, they also said that the CCC may also have been a decoy. It's like, how many decoys you are gonna have? Like, please, tell the people the truth. So, you know, many people believed there was so much truth among lies. You know, they felt like there was so much misinformation put out, there were so many rumours that they just didn't know what the truth was. And it was very hard for anyone to determine what the truth was. But to this day, people still believe that more than what they told the public was actually going on in there. Some also believe that there was a secret tunnel that led you from Corsham to London, and they believed that this was through a railway station that was held underground, that should, you know, during the Cold War a nuclear strike be deployed, then those same government officials would then be able to travel through the railways to Corsham, to the bunker. But unfortunately for some, this was not the case. It was said that although there was a station there, it did not go all the way to where the bunker was. It actually only travelled to the ammunition depot, which was underground. I'm sure there's many of you who have never heard about this, don't know nothing about it, but if you are interested to see it for yourself, learn more information about it, then there's quite a lot of documentaries and YouTube videos of people actually exploring Rudloe Manor and about the underground tunnels. There's actually even a video where an investigator was actually let in to visit the underground bunkers and such, to see for himself, and he's actually recorded it and it's on YouTube, so I will link that down below. But you know, there's many rumours about this place, what they was actually doing down there. Did they actually have evidence of UFOs? Did they have information regarding their existence? Any communication with UFOs in the UK? Some believe that it's all down, well, it was all down there in those underground tunnels and within Rudloe Manor. If I'm completely honest, it really wouldn't surprise me if they knew a lot more than they were letting on. And there's a lot of information that we may never find out. Or maybe not our generation, maybe not even the next generation. But like I said, I believe that there is life outside of Earth. And what I find frustrating is that we may not be able to ever find out for real like what actually is going on. And I just realised I'm putting on my bronzer, but have I concealed? Let's jump back into the concealer. But yeah, you know, there's, as I'm sure you may all be aware as well, there's a lot of government sites that we aren't made privy to, for whatever reason. They have their reasons, whether we agree with them or not, they have their reasons. But what I'd like to know is, have they ever had, you know, if they admitted that they had reports on UFOs there, but did they ever have any UFOs there? That's my thing. Like, did they have any actual aliens in Corsham? Like, did they have them in their little bunkers and underground tunnels? And that's what I'd like to know. Maybe in another 20 years we might find out. You know how, like, when it doesn't matter to them anymore, then we'll find out. Let's see in 20 years if we find this out. That, yeah, all this time they just moved them on, you know, just kept moving them around so as to not be caught with them. Can you imagine? You know what's funny? They always make these alien movies that suggest that aliens are going to take over and like destroy us and want to use us as servants and slaves and whatnot. But I always think to myself, it might be like E.T. They might just want to be like, cool. Be like, oh, let's trade some stuff. You know what I mean? I'm like the EU, you know? I don't necessarily believe that if aliens were to come, it's definitely going to be them trying to kill us and take over. I don't believe that. No. One thing I'd like to know as well is, why is there still security there? Like, if nothing's going on there anymore, the department's gone, you know, the RAF base isn't there anymore, why is it under such high security? Like, for what? Really, Fly? Really? Really? Go away. What is its purpose? Like, why do they need security? Why is it not for sale? Why is a family not moved into this big manor, or, you know, redone this manor? Because you really check it, it was a home. Like, previously it was a home. So why is it not being sold? Doesn't really make sense to me, personally. I don't know about you guys, but it doesn't make sense to me. Are they still concealing stuff under there? What's the dealio? Me want to know. One thing I'd also like to know is, what is you guys' experiences with UFOs? Do you have any UFO stories? Like, have you encountered any UFOs yourself? I don't know. I personally haven't. Not that I think I have. And I don't want to. I mean, I'm happy to hear about it from other people, but I don't think I'd want to experience it myself. Not really. Although I do believe that, you know, UFOs exist, I don't necessarily feel like I need to see for myself. You know, like, I'm sure at some stage we will be privy to any information suggesting that they have in fact been messing with aliens, you know. I know there's a lot of talk about who may have some alien heritage. If you don't know, don't worry, ignore me, being silly. But I do have like people around me that have told me about their experiences with like abduction. I find that mad though. Like, I kind of understand it, but then at the same time I'm like, why would they want to abduct you? I just powder all over my hands. I just think, why would they want to abduct you? Like, no disrespect, but what's so special? Like, you know what I mean? Like, not saying that the person isn't special, but like, why would aliens be that interested? But then again, saying that was kind of silly, because if aliens come here, if aliens did come here, the government would definitely be experimenting on them. Can't speak. So I get it. I do get it. But I don't know. Like, to come and pick you up out your bed, whisk you up into their ship, and be like, boom, let's see what this person has inside them. But it's also like the fact that we're alien to anything, because alien just means that they're some unknown thing. It's just unknown. That's all alien means. So we're alien to any other life form out there as well. I'm rambling now, aren't I? I'm just chatting. I'm just talking now. Let me spray this on my face. I think I'm going to go for a little bit of red today. I be thinking. So let's start off with a little bit of a lip line. Don't know. Maybe I should have went dark. Should I have gone dark for my lip line? Doesn't matter, I started now. I definitely feel like I would like to do a little bit more research into sightings, and I have found a couple of stories based in the UK, like of sightings, UFO sightings and so on. Like I was saying before, my only issue with this whole UFO sighting thing is just the fact that you don't know if people are telling the truth, or not even that they're lying, just that, you know, maybe the government was doing something and it made it look like it was something else, you know, in terms of sightings and so on. Oh, she read. She read. Right, so what do you think? What do you think, not only about the makeup, but what do you think about this Rudloe Manor? When I was reading it, I was like, this is some messed up ish. Like, I just want to know what was really going down. That's the thing. What was really going down in that place? Because I watched a documentary as well, like, where they actually broke back into Rudloe Manor and was looking around, but there was a lot of locked places, a lot of places you couldn't get to, and it makes you wonder, like, what are they concealing stuff there? There was still a security guard there on site, barbed wire everywhere, security cameras. So there's definitely something still there. There's definitely something that they're trying to conceal, but what that is, who knows. So yeah. So guys, thank you for watching this video. If you did get this far, I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed exploring the UK's Area 51. I will leave links down below to not only all the makeup that I used, but also to documentaries, YouTube videos and so on about Rudloe Manor. And yeah, I realise I always say that, and yeah. I don't even mean to, but it just comes out. Sorry, I'm faffing around with this hair. Just, you know, when it's just not going how you want it to go, but it's like, whatever. So yeah, thank you. If you are new here, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe. Oldies but goldies, go ahead and press that thumbs up button, and I shall see you next week with another history, mystery and makeup. Ooh.